Yo, what is going on, you guys? I'm here with my boy Kyle at the World Championship of our locals 2025 with our winner right here, bro. Congratulations, man.
Congrats,
First
brother.
place. Heck yeah, dude. What you play today, bro?
I played Memento, pure Memento, no K9 shenanigans, no Fiend Smith shenanigans. We'll be exploring K9 in the future, but for now, I think this is the way to play the deck.
Hell yeah, bro. Memento in 2025. What made you want to choose this deck, bro?
I first started competitively playing last year during like Snake Eye format, and at last year's Nats, I'd been playing Raid Raptors. I got second place in 2 side events, and I got pissed off, so I decided to learn Memento on the fly with the new support.
Insane.
I proceeded to go second place in 5 more side events in a row.
Insane.
Yeah, I love this deck to death. I feel like it's one of the true, really skillful decks that Konami's actually released in the last couple of years. Everything else
Agreed.
has been kind of like just combo fodder. Just, perform combo up until point of interruption and then pivot. I feel like it's such a really interesting, skillful deck that gives you a lot of room to customize it and play it how you want. This deck makes my brain go burr, and it's the only reason I played last year, despite the fact that it was like a $1,500 deck format. So I love this deck to death.
Heck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations that we improved this power level on the world stage. New ban list. All right, bro. Let's go ahead and get right into the monsters.
All right. So for the monsters, first we have 3 copies of Angwitch.
Okay, sick.
Arguably one of your best starters. Just gets you to so much and allows you to play in a lot of really strange ways to accommodate combo. Really important, really good. Next we have 2 copies of Darkblade. Some people play this at 1. If you're not on pure, that's fine, but I think if you're on pure, you really want as many names as possible. This also just gives you a lot of options in terms of how you want to start combo. If you get drolled mid-combo and you still have access to Darkblade, it gives you ways to play through it. So it's really vital for your combo, even if you're not starting with it.
Cool.
Well, it just gives you options to play on your opponent's turn. Stuff like popping set Draco Tail spells, or maybe the Yummy Field spell. It gives you a lot of ways to play, and it's just another interruption, which you really need in this format.
All right.
Next, we have 2 copies of Sleepy.
Okay.
Sleepy is a funny card. Sleepy is a really funny card. It provides you with a lot of ways to tailor your combo to whatever you've got in hand. You don't have to use materials on field. If you've just got dead normal summons in your hand, you can use those as material instead. And also just the fact that it gives you options in terms of, if you pop this, it allows you to just put anything in grave. That could be Big Guy, Combined Creation, that could be Fusion Spell, that could be Akihiron. This deck really promotes knowing your deck and knowing your different lines and such that you can take. It is very rewarding if you learn how to freehand combos, let me tell you.
Yeah, no, I bet.
Next up, we have 3 copies of Horse. We love him.
Gotta play 3 guy. Gotta play 3.
Yeah, he's just one of your starters that isn't a normal summon, so you want him at max copies. Lots of options for how you want to play. Super fun. We don't say his name because it's very long.
Yeah. You can pronounce that. That's insane.
Yeah. Next up, we have 2 copies of Goblin. Funny enough,
Okay.
this is also a very good starter. It's also just it's a semi-floodgate in that it makes your opponent unable to target your Memento monsters if activated during main phase. It's really strong. Really helps you set up for combo, especially if you get impermed or ashed or etc. You'll see why we play 2 copies.
Okay. Heck yeah.
Next we have the 1-ofs. Akihiron, Gaddock, our boy Gaddock, we hate to see him in hand. Horns, Combined Creation, Big Guy, and Mix.
Heck yeah, there you go.
All of these cards are just so vital in your combo. You really can't. I think the only one you could argue for is the only thing you could argue cutting is Horse if you're playing a variant, so like K9 or Fiendsmith. But in pure, this guy gives you so much interaction. It's so funny.
All right, heck yeah.
Yeah. Next, we've got Hand Traps. 3 copies of Fulos. I've been trying playing this deck with 3 copies of Perulia as well, and I'm gonna tell you, it feels like garbage.
Okay.
I don't like playing with 6 Molcharmins, but this card is just too good in basically every scenario to not play.
Right.
3 copies of Ash. It's Ash Blossom.
Yep.
It's Ash Blossom.
Yep.
Do I need to explain what Ash Blossom does?
You're good, fam.
Okay, cool. And then we, to top it off, have 2 copies of Ghost Ogre.
That's all hand traps?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you'll see later.
Yeah.
This is a really good card in this format. It stops the VS field spell, which is really strong. It keeps them off an additional summon and keeps them off the trap, which is just so ridiculous. It can also save you a bit in some yummy matchups. Popping the field spell, popping the link one. Sometimes it's your only chance, and that's fine, and you just have to accept it.
All right.
Okay, now for the spells. One copy of Pot of Prosperity. We have plenty of room in the extra deck for stuff you're not going to be using every game, so this is not a worry.
Okay.
If you're going to swap over to a K9 variant, this needs to go, but that's fine.
Okay.
Talents. I don't need to explain talents.
Nope.
Called by. I don't need to explain called by.
Understandable.
Next we have 2 copies of Fusion. This card's insane in the archetype. It can be used to dodge hand traps. It can be used to recycle materials. It's the fact that it can add itself with its graveyard effects is disgusting.
Agreed.
Yeah. 3 copies of Bone Party. Arguably the best card in the deck. It helps you play under Droll. It helps proc your effects. It helps turn on the if a monster's been destroyed clause with Fusion. It's ridiculous.
Card is nuts.
2 copies of Goblin Biker Grand Breakout.
Okay.
If you didn't know, this card can tribute any monster to summon a Goblin monster. That's right, a Goblin monster. Not a Goblin Biker monster, a Goblin monster. So that is why we played 2 copies of Memento Goblin, because he counts as a Goblin.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately
for you. Fortunately for you.
Unfortunately for the man behind the camera.
Yeah.
It helps you dodge hand traps. It helps you extend if you've been hand trapped. It's just really funny. And then last we have 1 copy of the field spell.
Okay.
It's funny, ridiculous, etc.
Agreed.
And then last we have
insane.
4 traps.
Okay.
1 Tikaboo. This card's
Get
just
this card
really.
out of here, bro.
This card's an OTK against Yummy for the most part. It's
Very
really
much.
strong against Draco Tail. The only deck in format that it doesn't really do that much into is K9 Fiendsmith. And if they do start trying to do Ripper plays on their turn, if you have it, it can help stop that, but it is what it is.
Right.
And then 3 copies of Imperm, just because it's the only thing that this deck can play that doesn't trigger K9. Lamau.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So is that a 40 card in the main?
Yes, sir.
All right. Heck yeah.
All right. Now for the extra. First we have. Actually, let's do our side first.
Side first? Okay.
First we have 3 copies of Perulia.
Understandable.
It's disgusting into a lot of decks. It really puts K9 VS in a bad place.
Agreed.
3 Dark Ruler. Really good into K9 VS. Really good into Yummy. Good into some variants of Draco Tail. It just depends.
Right.
And it's also just really good into rogue shit. If you get hit by that guy who has not put down White Forest since it released, this will put you in a good place.
Sounds like you know someone.
Yeah. I do. Love you, Sterling. Next is 3 copies of Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries.
Insane.
This card's funny. This card's
I
very
hate that
funny in this
card.
format. Yeah, I hit the man behind the camera with it today.
Game 3.
Against Yummy, this is just an OTK. There's like borderline nothing they can do. If somehow they get to 2 field spells, that will get them back into the game. But by then they've probably used up so much nonsense, it'll be difficult for them to actually,
Can't confirm.
Go for combo. Next we have some funny cards. All
right.
1-ofs. Evenly matched.
Okay. Fair enough.
Funny.
Yeah.
This is particularly good against K9 VS. It's also pretty good against Draco Tail just because they don't have a way to deal with it, and they will put at minimum like 3-4 cards on field. It also means that those cards can't be recycled. So one of the traps that they set off of the Draco Tail monsters is disappearing for the rest of the game. Unless they're a madman and they play 2 copies, which at that point you just can't plan for that. Next up, 2 copies of Lightning Storm. Board breakers are really strong in this format. I don't really need to explain that part. Then the last 3 cards are Rhoda, just a card to search for Darkblade.
And the side way guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Light Imprisoning Mirror. I wish all 3 copies of this card. I wish this card was secretly all 3. I wish this was just 3 copies of Light
All
Imprisoning,
the Yummy hate.
but I
Oh
couldn't
my
find
God.
them. So yeah, this is an OTK against Yummy. The only way the deck outs it is if they make SP. But like if they make SP, odds are it's going to be in the EMZ, and since it does not have a downward facing arrow, you've put them in a very bad position. If you force a Yummy player to go SP to out this, you've probably already won regardless. Yeah, we already said Rhoda. Next is Chain Disappearance, another funny card for Yummy. If they activate Obedient School when you have this set, you banish almost their entire main deck.
Yeah.
You banish, because Obedient School requires you to have 3 different names. You banish all 3 copies of Cupsy, all 3 copies of Cookie, all 3 copies of Lollipop. And at that point, I don't think it's possible for the deck to recover. I'm just going to be real about it. It's very funny. I did not get to resolve it at all, but sometimes it happens.
It's probably for the best you didn't get to resolve.
Yeah.
I would have lost all my sanity.
Yeah, like you got any left. Okay, finally for extra, we have 2 copies of cards for Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries.
Insane.
If you manage to resolve Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries against Yummy, they just lose for the most part.
Basically.
Next we have the Archetypal Fusions, 2 copies of Creation King, 1 copy of Twin. These are just ridiculous. You're going to be using them every game. They're very strong cards, and they give you a lot of flexibility on how you want to play and proceed through your combo.
Heck yeah.
Next we have the Link Monsters. First we have Access Code, Gorgon of Zilthonia, which is pretty strong in this format. If you put IP on the field, it presents a problem for a lot of decks, just because you can then IP into this. It catches a lot of people off guard, because if any of the effects, if you chain IP to any monster effect that's in the game, in the main monster zone, there is going to be an opportunity to just Gorgon this. Plus, like, nobody expects it. It's one of those cards that kind of went under the radar upon release.
Right.
It's known, but very few people are actually playing it. So seeing it is funny. Next is just IP. I don't really need to explain that. Next is SP. I don't really need to explain that.
Fair enough.
And then finally we have Moon of the Closed Heaven and Fiendsmith Sequence.
Okay.
We are not playing any actual Fiendsmith cards. The whole point of these 2 is just to turn 3 bodies into sequence, so you can sequence summon Baphomet.
Okay.
And then you use Baphomet, send whatever you sent back with sequence. Usually it's Horse or Sleepy, but you never know. You then link these 2 off for SP. Famous Memento inboard SP, Lamau. This in graveyard acts as a way to summon a banished Creation King, which most of the time you will get throughout combo. So it's just a way to keep Creation Field on field during your Creation King on field during your opponent's turn without actually having to summon him yourself during your turn, which frees up Fusion for some other funny cards. Secretariat Dragon. This card's hilarious.
I've never seen this in Memento in my life.
Yes. You can. So the funny thing about Memento Fusion is that it can make any fusion monster, provided you have valid materials, and that you include at least 1 Memento monster. If you didn't know, Memento English is a spellcaster, and Memento Horn Dragon is a dragon. So, yeah, it's funny. It's really funny, guys.
Heck yeah.
Make your local Draco Tail player cry. Next is Azumina Sol Escraton. This is another strange fusion target that we can make natively using an illusion and a fiend, which in most cases is going to be Creation King and then either Goblin or Gaddock, just because those are fiends and this is an illusion monster.
Right.
And then the last one is Dragostapelia, which is just a fusion and a dark.
Fair enough.
Which most of a good amount of the Memento monsters in main are dark, and we happen to make fusions.
True.
So if something happens and say Divine Creation gets banished, you can use this with Fusion to help recycle your monsters, which is really important.
Right.
Most of the time I run Super Poly in this deck, which is why I have these as well, because they do function as well as Super Poly targets. But if you don't know, World's Banlist has Super Poly too, so we don't want to rely on that.
So you just chose not to play it because of... Fair enough.
Yeah. If I did, I would have Garura and Mud Dragon in here, but I don't right now, so here it is.
World Championship, World's Banlist, man. Congratulations once again. Any tips you want to give to the people at home? Or any message, any final message. Doesn't have to be a tip.
Okay. Shout out to my boys in Team BS. always standing behind me. That's Team Band Shifter, by the way.
Right.
Very important to remember.
Thank you.
If you love playing this deck or you want to play this deck, it's going to be hard at the beginning. Stick it out and just learn and practice, because this is arguably, at least in my opinion, the most skill-expressive deck Konami has released in the last few years. And it really does reward you for practicing and learning and figuring out all the little eccentricities.
Heck yeah, man. That is some wise words from our world champion, 2025 local champion. Congrats once again, man, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.